Hi, welcome to today's video. Before I get started getting into the details, I suppose, of the video, just a quick PSA. I've moved things around in the office room that I do these videos from, that I journal from and so on. So the lighting's going to be different, maybe the audio, just in terms of how my voice reverberates off the walls, and the angle might be slightly different as well. So I'll tweak things as maybe I need to. For instance, I'm sitting in front of a window and I'm conscious that my shadow might affect kind of the colour and how readily you can see things. So I'm going to go for it, and if I need to tweak, then I'll tweak. So a couple of things to cover off in today's video. I want to do the normal kind of show and tell, my pages in my various books from this week. I'm going to show you a misopaper order that arrived just this morning, and I'm going to show you my 2025 setup so far. So the week before last, I think it was, I did my Hobonichi unboxing, and that was sort of tagged onto an existing video rather than a standalone. And because I was kind of excited, I feel like I kind of rattled through it quite quickly. It felt a little bit rushed when I looked at it in the edit. So, I've got time this morning. I'm going to sit and talk through things in a bit more of a chilled out way, hopefully. I'm just going to move this out of the way for the moment, so I've got room for my books. This is the current sort of stack of books that I work with, just for anyone who might be watching for the first time. Oh, I've just realised my Filofax has got a weird bit of scuffing here. I think that must just be from having it in my bag and it getting a little bit beaten up. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that develops over time. But anyway, my setup at the minute, I'm working in the Hobonichi A6 Avec for a Dear Diary sort of journal entry each evening. I also have my calendar in here and mood trackers and that sort of thing. The Filofax, I have a number of things that I track, habits and health things, but then also it's like a scrappy place for my to-do lists, where things are a bit more free, easy, messy. And then I have this traveller's notebook sort of size booklet. This is one that Megan Rhiannon made, I think it was last year now. She made a number of these notebooks to use in her own system. They didn't work out for her, so I bought a few from her. And in here I've got, so the first half of the book is kind of around media tracking, and then the second half of the book is my commonplace. So let's go with the A6 just to begin with. So let's have a quick look in here. So my mood tracker, everything's pretty much going as standard. I'm maybe a few days behind. I tend to look at this sort of 2 to 3 times a week and update it. My calendar, that started getting a little bit more busy for this month as the month has gone on. Just to talk you through it quickly, I use these dot stickers for different things. So the brown ones are tasks, the green ones are social events, and the pale green ones are for appointments. I, down the left hand side here, write a quote that relates to the month. This usually stays blank for the first couple of weeks of the month, but I think it was yesterday I found a couple, so I've put those in. And yesterday, I think it was, or maybe the day before, I started laying down some more decorative stickers. I tend not to do that too early, because if something gets planned, then I don't want that space being occupied by a decorative thing. So just to talk you through those stickers, these are from Marigo Suli. Any shops or anything like that I mention, I'll have in the little description. These are Marigo Suli ones, as is the washi tape. And then these are Megan Rhiannon stickers. And I've also, in the last few days, just started to gradually set up for October. So the bit of washi I've got here with the kind of haunting pumpkin faces, that's actually from the range last year. They are doing a Halloween washi tape set this year, but this design isn't in it. This October sticker is Megan Rhiannon. We've got a couple of my dots here. Oh, I forgot to... This is my prompt to... I think it's emptying the vacuum. Very exciting. I've got a little tab in here because I need to remind myself to, within October, book a blood test for the following month. And then I've got a sticker here, these headstones. Those are from Bones and Blankets on Etsy. So just mind this out of the way. So I last spoke to you on Sunday, not the one just gone, but the one before that. So that would be, so I believe that was the 8th. Gosh, 10 days. Okay. Oh, here we go. So the top check boxes here, I do a tarot reading each day, just a very quick, intuitive one. And that's like my card for the day. More to help me learn the sort of interpretations and meanings a bit better, but also it's always sort of a good like reflection point. And then my entry is like a Dear Diary, and I just wrote straight across the page. Before I had my Filofax, I used to split that up, and this does look very nice. Like I look at these pages fondly, but since the introduction of the Filofax, I didn't need to duplicate that to-do list anymore. At the top of most of these pages, you'll see the word today. That is kind of a hangover from when I was doing those to-do lists there. That today sticker is from Lethbridge Papers. So yeah, I'll just talk you through each day. On this day, I was reading quite a bit, and I was reading The Natural History of Ghosts. So I've got a picture of the book here because I actually finished it that day, and I stick a picture of the book in when I finish it. We've got this Mundane Kunst sticker here, which has got like photos and candles, which kind of fit in my head of like the haunted house, and a ghost washi here as well. We've got the day, yeah, this is the day my Hobonichi order arrives. So I didn't stick in you know, like the leaflet or anything that comes with it. I've actually got that just sort of tucked in the Filofax for now. But I took the kind of sleeve off my Hon, and I've kind of got this window here just as a little reminder of, yep, that's the day. And it's very small, but I've also got like a coffee stain sticker here, and that's from Colour Cafe. Yep, next couple of days. So one of the things that I like about this, like writing straight across the page, is I'm able to be maybe a bit more free and flexible with where I lay down stickers. When I was doing it in this way before, it was much more formulaic. Like there would always be a sticker under the to-do list, and then usually I would need the whole of this space to write. Occasionally I'd maybe put another sticker down like that. So yeah, I can play a little bit more with like layering and where things sit, and it also means that I'm not just getting bulk in one area of the page as well, which helps. So to carry on anyway, this is a Mundane Kunst sticker and a stamped and sealed co sticker underneath. These stickers are from Paper Shire. So this was another sort of reading heavy day, and on this day I think I've laid these down because I in my office I have a few sort of Halloween-esque decorations out all the time because I really enjoy that, but this was the day that some of that stuff started flowing into the rest of the house. So now we've got a few pumpkins on the mantelpiece, and we've got like a few other sort of figurines and stuff of mine. The rest of the house is becoming a bit more festive, I guess you might say. Okay, yep, so we've got a couple more stickers here. So there's this black washi, this is from Colour Cafe. This plant sticker is a Mundane Kunst one, and then this raven or crow is a Megan Rhiannon one. And so I finished The Haunting of Borley Rectory, the book, the following day, and I'd been reading quite a bit of it the previous day. I can't remember exactly what there is. There was some sort of story linked to the rectory, and it involved a raven or a crow, I think it was, or some sort of, you know, black bird as an omen. So that's why that's there. Okay, yeah. This next page is maybe like a bit messy and stuff, but I think now in my head, because I know I'm moving into that A5 next year, I'm starting to like reintegrate how I worked a bit in the cousin perhaps, and being a bit more flexible sticking things in. So this here, I'm not going to open it up because it's maybe a little bit private, but it's a little note that my partner wrote me. I have put like a love's heart sticker on here because, like I said, it's a note from my partner. That's a Megan Rhiannon one. This planner sticker, like it's like a traveller's notebook style with some bits and pieces put in the elastic. That's from Samson Sealed Co. That's a really nice set. I can't remember if I've used any more on the following pages, but I really like the stickers in that set, even though I don't like, I've got this traveller's notebook style one, but I'm not like a traveller's notebook fanatic. There's something that looks like really aesthetically pleasing about the traveller's notebook systems. I do sometimes like look at them online and I'm like, oh, maybe that would be the one for me, but I don't want to stray into that, you know, like I've already got way too many notebooks. And then this little dog is Mario Suli, I believe. The next day, I know I had a nice, I think I had a pumpkin spice latte, not a Starbucks one because I'm not going to Starbucks, but from a local business, you know, their equivalent. And also this Sleepy Cat sticker, which I got from the Japan Centre when I visited London because I was very sleepy on this day. Been struggling with my like health and fatigue stuff quite a lot the last few days. So yeah, that was the mood. And we got a Chinese takeaway, and not always, but often we will get a fortune cookie each. And that was my fortune, which was it says take a moment to rework your schedule. And as it happened, my schedule for this week ended up kind of rescheduling itself and reworking itself. I'd planned to do a bunch of work towards the Peachtober challenge and kind of getting as much as I could done ahead of October. But yeah, my health had a bit of a rubbish time, so that has not happened. So my body took fate into its own hands, kind of. I don't know. This is quite a nice spread, I think. Fairly like minimal still in terms of decoration, but the two pages tie together nicely and there's a balance there. So yeah, I think I had another sort of coffee this day. So this is a Megan sticker, as is the little star, and these two are here. And then you'll see here I've got the like Beetlejuice theme, not theme, sorry, like logo. This was actually cut out from, I got an order of like bath bombs and things like that, and there's a promotional one for the Beetlejuice film, and I knew I was going to go and see the film, so I kept it aside and then I just cut it out to include on the day that we went to see the film. And then we're on to sort of the current spread. So yesterday's deco, there wasn't anything particularly that inspired it. The moth really appealed to me, and then the rest sort of flowed. I suppose the closest thing is yesterday was the harvest moon, and you've got the sort of crescent moon detailing on the moth here. And then in terms of the washi, the sort of purplish one here is an old paper chase one, and then this checkerboard one or gingham one is currently being stocked by Typo, and they've got a range of things that kind of have this pattern on. And yeah, we've got today. I had initially written the word today up here. You might be able to see that the page a little bit wrinkled, so it kind of had the symmetry, and I wrote that back when I was doing the to-do list on this side, but because I'm not doing that anymore, I was able to just erase it, and now for the rest of the year I'll just be able to write straight across in that kind of Dear Diary format. Oh, I've got a post tracker on my 100 pages. I don't really show this because it's just practical. However, things arrived today. Misopaper order, for instance. So that's that updated. So that's the A6 all going like quite swimmingly. Like, yes, I'm looking forward to working in the Hon, but I don't want to neglect this, and you know, there's nothing making me want to move away from it or anything like that. Okay, so in here, my trackers. Oh yeah, one small update I did do in here. Oh yeah, so here's my little Hobonichi booklet here. Do you know what? I'll start this bit slightly again, rather than rushing. There's been like tiny aesthetic changes that I've made in here in the last few days. So I had like this bit of sort of blotter paper at the back, but I thought actually that's a bit awkward. Getting behind this mesh is a little bit awkward. So actually I thought, well, I need it easy to access, so that's there now at the front. I've got my Hobonichi leaflet here, partly because it's still a bit of a novelty thing, so if I want to have another look at it, I can get to it easily and have another look. But part of it's aesthetic as well, because red, black, and then maybe like hints of yellow and orange are kind of the colour theme I've got in here, so it just ties in very nicely, I think. And then I've also got a new piece of septum jewellery because I got that. I'm rubbish at changing my jewellery, and so I've got that for next time I see my sibling and they can help me out. The rest in peace little thing that got pressed when I went to the museum a few weeks ago, I did try using double-sided sticky tape to keep that on the front, but because it's like embossed, there's not enough, the sticky tape wasn't like thick enough for it to stick. So just for now I'm going to keep it in the front pocket, which I'm quite pleased with. And then at the back I've still got my Yoshitomo Nara character, but I've also got a book of stamps back here now as well, because I needed to post some stuff, and stamps are the sort of thing that like in the past I've bought them, shoved them in my wallet, and then they have been like eaten by the wallet fairies and they just sort of disappear. So if I know it's in here, and it's like semi-visible as well, I'm less likely to kind of lose them. So the trackers, I've not updated for this morning or like last night as yet, but just to give you a rough sense of how that's going, I archived the previous week. You can see here, Peachtober, I was going to be tracking, you know, how many days of this week I was working on it, and so far that's 0. I'm going to edit this video this afternoon. I might be able to make a start, but also my head's killing me and I've already exerted myself quite a bit this morning, so that might be a thing for tomorrow. And then tracking my health stuff here as per usual. So if we go back to like last sort of Sunday-ish. Okay, so yeah, here we are. So for Saturday and Sunday last week, I had been using my Bones and Blankets Days of the Week stickers, and then a couple of butterflies here from Stamped and Sealed Co. Monday, I just hand wrote the name of the day of the week because I think I was thinking, and this tends to happen to me a bit, I think I'm going to keep some day of the week stickers in here because I'll often start thinking about what I need to put on my to-do list the night before while I'm sat downstairs. And yeah, I did the same again on Tuesday, so I think it would be worthwhile for me just to have even just the one sheet in here so I can keep on top of it, I guess. A list here of things that I wanted to do when I visited my city near me. Wednesday I used my stencil because I had it handy, but then Thursday I just hand wrote it again. Friday I used these gold stickers. I got them from the works, but it seems to be that a few of the like pound shops and discount shops around the UK are doing these. I think I also saw them in Poundland, so those are there, and you can get silver ones as well. Paper Shire sticker. I feel like this section of my book's kind of boring, but it's practical space more than anything else, so not necessarily as like pretty as the others, but anyway. Gold letters again. This sticker's from Stamped and Sealed Co. They do these like quite big botanical ones that are pretty. Just a quick note to myself. And then with what I was just saying about Peachtober and kind of my plan, on Sunday I was thinking to myself like I wanted to draw up a weekly schedule or a weekly spread. I don't always feel the need to have a weekly view of things just because of the way I work at the moment, my health situation. But because this project is not a long-term project, but it's going to be taking me a few weeks, I thought actually, you know, I'll make sure I do like this drawing on this day, that drawing on that day, and while also fitting that in with appointments and tasks I had to do. This is one of the reasons I normally work in a bound book, because you can see like how rough my lines are and stuff, but again, it was still just a practical thing. So I drew it all up on the Sunday, felt quite happy, and then health things happened. So you can see there's like loads of arrows where I've gone to swap things around, and realistically, I'm filming this on Thursday, realistically this has gone out the window for this week, but potentially looking at next week, I might draw something similar up. I think for me, like at the beginning of the week, I don't want to dwell on health stuff too much, but I'll just address it quickly. For me, at the beginning of the week, I was being like quite self-critical about it and being like, oh God, you're like going to fall massively behind, you're never going to get it done. But I know in my heart of hearts that it was a case of I've not gone according to the schedule because I couldn't help it and I needed the time out, and I'm still trying to like recuperate from it all. Essentially, like I had some bad news and it sent me into a meltdown, and I'm still recovering from it. I couldn't help it. I've not just been lazy. I think that's the thing. I still have this like basically internalized ableism in my head. But anyway, let's move on from that, because we're here to talk about notebooks, not that. For most of this week, for my sort of days of the week, I've been using these like black and white stickers from Flying Tiger. I like the font. I don't know what font it is. It kind of looks like Futura, which is one that I like a lot. My other half pulls my leg about it sometimes, that I love this font. On what, Tuesday night I think it was? Yeah, on Tuesday I had like a complete day of doing nothing because of all the stuff I was just saying. But on the evening I started thinking to myself like, okay, let's start thinking about what might be achievable tomorrow. I wrote the list out, and then I've kind of thought about it again in the morning when I've drawn up my list properly. I did some things but not others, again fine. My bookmark that I made at the beginning of the month, I really like this, and it might become a regular thing each month. I think particularly next month it'll be nice to do, because it's going to be, you know, it's October, it's going to be very like Halloween themed. Just got a quick note tabbed to here. I've been selling stuff on Vinted the last few weeks, trying to have a bit of a clear out of my wardrobe, particularly thinking about things that like, I had clothes that I'd like the look of on the hanger, but then actually would like send me into a sensory pit of doom. So getting rid of stuff like that. And then when I swapped my office around, there were things that I came across that I thought, you know, do I really need 5 different tarot decks? No, I don't. Can I condense them? Okay. And you know, sort of planning in that way. So I've got a few things there, and it's there for me to come back to when I'm feeling well enough to go through the process of listing everything, photographing everything. But because it's on this bookmark, it's going to be handy for whenever that happens, rather than kind of just getting lost in the pages somewhere. And then, yeah, I tabbed a few other little notes on this side, blank, ready to use for that sort of purpose. And then this is today's to-do list. Just going to have a quick update here, currently filming. Right. So I've got a sticker here that's not the like black and white one. I picked up a pack. Oh, they're over there, so I'm not going to get them. Picked up a pack of planner stickers from Flying Tiger. They had a bunch of their like back to school stuff reduced because they're making way for the Halloween things. And because this is like kind of like a loose, playful space, picked up the pack of stickers. I think it was £1. So although it's not necessarily like super consistent with the colour theme that I normally go for, you know, like the blacks and the reds and stuff, it's just a bit of fun. I would like try not to think too deeply about it. So that's there. I accidentally put it on wonky, but again, I'm trying not to be too much of a perfectionist about these things. And then I can't remember if I've added, oh yeah, so I've got this section at the back which I call the like my collections, borrowing that language from the sort of bullet journal I guess community. And I've just added here a to be watched list. I intermittently write these on my phone and then lose them. So again, it's just like a permanent way of keeping that handy, and also a way to add to it. So I've just remembered something actually as well. It's just made me think I'd intended to add a little film sticker here. So I'm going to do that, but I can talk to you at the same time. I think a lot of my to be watch list is like horror films or films set around Halloween. And it's strange, like for a long time I didn't think that I liked horror, but I think it was because I was maybe watching like the wrong type, or where shall I put this? The wrong type, or maybe because horror gets parodied a lot, you know, you've got like the Scary Movie franchise. I think those kind of ruined it for me, because I like comedy, my partner likes comedy. I'd seen a lot more of the parody before seeing the original stuff. So then you hear, I don't know, the music from Halloween and you're like, oh right, yeah, this, I know exactly what's going to happen. So it's quite nice just like thinking I'll go into things with like a fresh mindset. I watched a few different films in like October last year that I vibed with really well, and I'm like, oh okay, I could get into this. I've just got to like explore a bit. So like, just as a random side note, like I've got the first Saw film here, I've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film here. I've got a feeling that slashers are not going to be my thing, but I'll dip my toe in. There might be, you know, really suspenseful scenes, there might be you know, great costumes and you know, cinematography and things like that still that I can appreciate. So yeah, I drew that list up. And then, is anything different in the pockets? Oh yeah, so I've got a couple of different pockets here. This first one is small things that I've like cut out. So when I do my like mood boards for the month, I don't want to waste the paper and just have like something this size and then loads of blank paper. So that tends to be when I go on Tumblr, go on Pinterest, pull a bunch of images, and then I've got them to use. Typically, historically, I've used them in the A6 more than anything, but I haven't in the last few days. So these are back here to just glue in on pages. I keep sort of forgetting it's here, so maybe I need to like bring it forward or something. And then the only other slight change I've made here is, I think last time I spoke to you about my pages, I had switched out these black dividers for some that were like nice autumnal patterns. I just didn't get on with them in here. They felt too like bright and almost twee, and that's not the vibe in this book. So I instead brought these back in, and I used my label maker to label what each of the sections were, because before it was blank. And although I knew what each section was, I think there's a degree of, I mean, the label's not permanent, I could peel it off, but there's a degree of like permanence feeling from that, to be like, yes, these are my dividers. There's a helicopter, so hopefully you can't hear that, but it is shaking the house. It's nearly gone. Hopefully you can't hear that helicopter. So yeah, I've got this one that just says lists, and then this one that says trackers as well. Yeah, I've got my to-do list for the month still here. Done a few bits now, so we've made some progress. Still a fair bit left to do in the last couple of weeks of the month. So that's the rings. And we'll move to my sort of common. I think of it more as a commonplace, because to be honest with you, I don't keep up with the media tracking that well in here. I've said in previous videos that it's turned out that the commonplace section of this book has been really where I've had the value. So these pages haven't changed. Most of this hasn't changed, but the active part of the page is the media tracker. How far behind am I? What is the date? Oh, okay, I'm not that far behind. I did have a look at this yesterday morning. So yeah, I track books, films, music and gaming. Not been gaming very much, and that's largely been because of my nails. There's a bit of growth on them now, so, you know, ignore that. People have been really nice about my nails in the videos in the last few weeks, so thanks for that. But my natural nails don't typically grow this long. It's weird, when I have natural nails only, as soon as they start getting long, I hate them from a sensory point of view, but there's something about the fake ones that are actually really nice from a sensory point of view, and actually stop or minimise some of my more harmful stimming behaviours. So that's weird, but also it means that, like, I was trying to play Crash Bandicoot the other day, and I would accidentally press down 2 buttons, or I couldn't quite get the D-pad to move quite right. So yeah, I've been gaming a bit less the last few weeks. My TBR, I've crossed off The Haunting of Borley Rectory and The Natural History of Ghosts here. I'm partway through reading Gorse, which is it's an advanced Redux copy, but it has been published now. I've got to read it sort of in the next few weeks. So that's there. And then we get to the commonplace section, and I had great forethought, and I marked where I got up to, like last time I talked to you. So I'm not repeating myself too much in this book. So since last time I spoke to you, the first thing that goes in here is my little book review of The Haunting of Borley Rectory. So we've got the picture of the front cover of the book that I stuck in, a little star sticker from Megan, and this ghost is a Bones and Blankets one, and you know, obviously that fits because it's about a ghost story. A quote here and another here, with a couple of stickers. So this is a picture that I grabbed from, I think, Pinterest, and it's like a spooky woods churchyard, because, you know, it's a rectory, the vicar lives there, the church is nearby. The churchyard sticker is from Bujo Cult, and then this skull sticker is a Morone Kunst one, and that's in there because a skull was found in the cellar of, no, it was found in a cupboard. A skull was found by one of the rector's wives in a cupboard, so it just sort of ties in well. And then just a bit of a note here about the harvest moon that we had yesterday. Yeah, I like that stuff, so I just took a few notes on that. And then this sunflower sticker is a Stamped and Sealed Co. one, and I felt like that fit very nicely with, like, Mabon. I never know how to pronounce that. I'll put it on the screen. Or Mabon. But the harvest time anyway. And that's as far as I've got with that. There's not loads. I tend to find that I have some weeks where I commonplace absolutely tons, and then other weeks where it's a bit quieter. But like I say, health things, needing to rest, that's why I've not written lots in here. So I'm up to sort of page 17 out of 30. I might end up with spare pages this month again, which is not a bad thing at all. I try and be, like, sensible with stationery purchases. I put a lot of thought into things before I buy them. And because it's been, like, planner season, you know, we've had the Hobonichi releases, other brands have been doing their releases. And also, like, it's been around my birthday and it's also Halloween coming up. This period of the year, this is when I maybe spend money a little bit more frivolously. I still think things through, but I'm that bit more inclined to go, oh yeah, I really fancy that. I'll make that plunge. You know, maybe I've been thinking about something for a few months. So yeah, I don't necessarily, I'm not necessarily going to be someone who does like haul videos every other week. But I thought I'd show you these things. It's relevant to what I post, and it's relevant to my 2025 setup, which I'll show you afterwards. So yeah, I'm just going to stop waffling and open this up. Lovely. Okay. So first things first, you'll be able to see, this is a medium Delphonics pouch in a medium, I just said that, a medium Delphonics pouch in black. I'm just going to take the plastic off. So yeah, I got this Delphonics pouch. It's not the first one I've ever had. I used to have one in the, I think it was either the small or the extra small. And that was a handy little pencil case, and obviously all the pockets and stuff is really convenient too. But I didn't fully vibe with the colour. And yeah, the colour and the size. I got the colour I did because they were out of stock of the black. And the size was alright as a pencil case, but I want to be able to carry books in it. So this is my Han in the cover. I just wanted to be able to, yeah, chuck that in quite easily. I don't know if it'll even fit. Okay, that's even better. So my Hon and some other books that I've got in the case fit in there like perfectly. I think the cover sticks out ever so slightly there, so I just need to tuck it. But that's absolutely what I wanted. Whoops, what I wanted from my pouch. So I can just put that in. I'm not necessarily going to keep it in here all the time, because when it comes to next year, I just want this like open on my desk all the while. I suppose the other thing to check is, does my... Yeah, great, okay, even better. So my my Filofax, this is what comes out with me if I'm, I don't know, going shopping or taking a trip somewhere for the day. So the fact that this fits in here and there's room elsewhere, even better. But day to day, it is just going to be a very organised space. So this will live on my desk, and I love the way it looks. And I've kind of got this like companion pouch as well, which again, this could even fit within the Delphonics, which might be a handy thing for those trips. So then my book goes in here, I have some pens and stuff on the outside, and then I've got this as like my secondary one. Thinking particularly if I go away overnight somewhere. It doesn't happen often, but you know, you never know. So yeah, like really happy with that. I feel like I've talked about it for ages now. I'll set that up in a little bit, and there might be some pictures on Instagram of it or whatever if you want to have a look at that. And then yeah, I've got a couple of other bits in here. So my couple of items, and then lovely, Barbara always does some freebies, which is cute. So I suppose first things first, because this links to my 2025 setup, is I picked up a traveller's notebook zipper case, and I didn't realise, but it's got 3 pockets in it. I'll show you in a second, but the case I've got for my book next year has elastic in it, like the traveller's notebook covers do. And so I thought this would be a really handy place for keeping little bits of ephemera, receipts, that sort of thing, with that book. So I'm going to put that in when I show you how I've got things set up in a couple of moments. And then the other thing I got, and I ummed and ahed about this for ages, it's the Sticky Club Midnight Tarot Halloween Advent Calendar. I'm not going to spoil anything in this video, by the way. There's some videos that do talk through everything, but I'm not going to... Oh, wow. Okay, like even like the embossing just feels really pretty, and that is really stimmy. Trying not to get too distracted, but that's... God, maybe I need more like iridescent things in my life, because this is mesmerising. I'll just open it up and show you very quickly. There's lots of cool pictures online. And I don't know if this is, you know, makes me a spoil sport or whatever, but I am going to take the sheets out later on off camera, and start using them straight away, I think. But I thought this like concertina thing would be really nice to have on my fireplace or something like that in the run up to Halloween. And then what I thought I might do afterwards is use these cards as bookmarks, but also maybe as dividers in the Filofax. I feel like the silver here feels a bit wintry, so I thought between Halloween and like Christmas time, and maybe into like January and February, that would be a lovely way to have a little bit of a change in the Filofax, but nothing too groundbreaking. Now I'm just having a like really quick eyeball of this without, you know, taking this card out and spoiling it for anyone who doesn't want spoilers. But the width is looking about right for using it in the Filofax, and then the The height is maybe a touch tall, but I think actually for dividers that might work. So it looks like it will fit in my case well, but it will be taller than the pages. So it may work, it might not work. What I'm often inclined to do with things like this is back it onto card. I'll hole punch the card rather than hole punch the thing itself. Either way, I'm sure I'll find a use for this. God, I just want to look at that all day. And then let's just have a quick look at these 3 bits and pieces. So we've got the sort of postcard, Barbara. I think as well, I don't think I've ordered from her in the autumn time before. So we've got this like Japanese maple tree, and then the little cat as well. Anyway, so we've got a few stickers here. These are really sweet. I really like this one, sort of like vintage ephemera feel to it, and then some nice florals as well. So these are always appreciated, and I think sometimes as well, like, you know, these for instance, they're not like 100% the kind of thing that I would buy for myself or whatever, but I think it's always interesting and fun to see how I can integrate these into my spreads, like, you know, picking out a nice key colour like this lovely green, and making something from it. So now I'll show you how things are looking for 2025 so far. Just as a little side note, something I wanted to mention, I got some birthday presents from one of my friends the other day. We'd not seen each other in a few weeks, so it's a little bit late. But one of the things she got me was this magnetic bookmark from Grumpy Nook, which is really cool. I've not ordered from Grumpy Nook myself as yet. I think they have a sale on at the moment, so we will see. But yeah, I thought this was really nice, and I might use it in my books. I've got quite a few bookmarks for reading currently, so it might be nice to have one that I have more for like my journaling setup. So anyway, so this is my cover that I intend to use for next year. I got it from My Verona, or Verona, I might be mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. They have an Etsy shop, they're based in France. It came to me really quickly. And then I've got this little charm on here at the moment, which is actually a stitch marker. So we can see we've got the elastics here. I think initially I'm just going to pop this in the front. Great, and that fits like a glove naturally. So yeah, I just figured I would potentially keep that in the front here. Like I say, if I go away anywhere or something like that, or I want to keep some ephemera bits in the front, that's a nice easy way of doing it. Alternatively, I'm not going to faff too much now, but alternatively I might like slip it across the whole of the back, so I've got like a pocket at the front of the book and a pocket at the back as well. So this is the star of the show. Sorry, I'm noticing little bits of dust. The star of the show. This is the gingham Hon for next year. I've got it in a clear Codex cover from Midori. And the Codex one, I will say, is like a little bit big, a little bit baggy for the paper series Hon. The reason I went with the Codex one for this is that I originally got this like normal one, the standard one, and it was very tight, which a lot of people report, but the hairdryer trick that people kind of recommend just wasn't working for me, and I don't really have the patience, to be honest with you. So I went with the Codex, and yes, it's a bit baggy, but I think for me that's handy because it'll accommodate bulk potentially. But also I decided to make a charm to go down the back here, which I think hopefully you'll be able to see. These beads originally came on a necklace that I got last year, but the thread it was on was kind of giving out on me a bit. So I've made a bracelet from it, and then I've also made this charm, and the amount of beads worked out like perfect. And everything, I was a bit worried it wouldn't lie flat still, but because of the way the spine is and because of the way the cover is, everything lies flat still. So yeah, I've done a little bit of setup in here. I don't want to go too mad too soon. So yeah, I've put these month tabs in. These are from Lethbridge Papers. I bought the ticket size everyday pockets from Hobonichi. So I put one in the front, and I've got a Gloomy in here ready. This is a Megan Rhiannon Gloomy. I'm not sure why I decided to put this one in the front exactly. My plan is, like, next year I will swap it out, like maybe week in, week out, but for whatever reason I picked this one at the moment. I've put a couple of Midori clips in just for the first week, the first month, that kind of thing, to kind of get me started-ish. And then at the very back here, you see I've got the pencil board. I'm just going to pop that here for now. Do you know what? I'm going to move it away. I had that here because I did some pen swatches yesterday and I just didn't want the transference to happen. So that's everything I've got set up in the book itself. And then I mentioned just that I had the original Midori cover for the Hon initially, but it didn't work out. So what I've decided to do, and I kind of had in mind that I might do this anyway, is I've used it on my sort of supplementary or overflow books. So these books are the Hobonichi memo pads. So they come in a pack of 2, and you'll see I've got the second one just here. What I have done is I have covered them using some black paper. It's only secured on with washi tape at the minute, so if and when I want a change I can implement that. And then I've put these archive stickers on. These are Megan Rhiannon ones, so I've got one on this one and I've got one on this one. And then I slipped the front cover of one into the front of the Midori cover, and then I've got the back cover of this one slipped into there. And my plan for this is a little bit up in the air still. One of them will be an overflow book for my daily entry. So just to, I don't want to make this video too long, but my plan for this book is to use it as a combination of a commonplace and daily entry book. And my daily entry, I'm intending only to be sort of this long. I don't necessarily have masses to say about this is what I did today, this is where I went. But for those occasions where I maybe do have more to say or I'm particularly excited about something, I wanted a space where I can just put the date down and, like, essentially word vomit and write out what I wanted to. What I'm questioning and thinking I might do with the other one, and I'm not too sure sort of how I think or feel about it at the moment, is the mainly the daily pages in the Hobonichi are going to be for commonplacing. But a lot of the time what I commonplace about is not time sensitive, but often linked to something going on at the moment. So here's a film I'm really enjoying, here's some information about you know, my astrological chart and what's due to happen in the next few weeks. And I like the idea of, it's never going to be like a page a day. Whoops. It's never going to be like a page a day in here, because there will be some days where I don't commonplace anything at all. You know, that's quite common. And there'll be days where I want to write for absolutely ages because I'm really into something at that particular moment. But I don't want to be, say, just as a, like, an exaggerated example, I don't want to be writing in pages in mid-July about things that I'm thinking about in mid-April. I don't want to, like, kind of get carried away and have there then be a massive mismatch between what am I thinking about and enjoying at this moment in time, and then here's my, like, daily entry of what I did in that particular day. So my way of trying to address that or combat that, I think, is going to be having an overflow commonplace book where, if, for example, in January, I commonplace absolutely loads and I reach the end of the daily pages for, like, the commonplacing that I might want to do. So, you know, I get to this beginning of February page and I've maxed out all of the space in January, rather than going into February, going into that overflow commonplace book. So I could date it if I wanted to, but I probably won't. But the information is still there for me to be able to access. That's kind of what I'm playing with, kind of what I'm thinking of doing with that space at the moment. So yeah, I didn't want to like do loads in here. I've seen a few people online being like, God, I just want to start my book now. I had that like last year coming into this year's book, but I'm trying to, you know, enjoy the A6 still. The Filofax is still like a bit of a novelty for me, so I've enjoyed the bits I've done in here, but I'm very much wanting to pace myself with it. I don't want to get too carried away too soon. Let's have a look. I think that's me done chewing your ear for now. I feel like I've talked a lot today, but hopefully that's been of interest and enjoyable. Hopefully that's been fun for you. I've had fun talking to you about it. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.